What's up, everyone? It's your favorite channel with a new video to help you better understand what's going on inside and outside of you. We always bring it up because we know it works. Let's get started.
I would like you to address pursuit of joy and how wonderful it can be when it flows through you, how it helps your power of influence. It impacts every area of your life and totally changes the filter of lens, which leads to creativity, abundance. It's a lifestyle choice to be joyful.
We think you've said it well.
Thank you.
The reason that the pursuit of joy, or as some have said in such perfect words, following your bliss, is so valuable is that when you are looking for the thought, word, or action that feels joyful when you are looking for it, what you're actually doing is holding yourself in vibrational harmony with source energy. That is what this workshop is all about. It is holding yourself in a place where you're letting it in. Letting what in? Things that are a vibrational match to joy, which would be clarity and wellness and abundance, all things that you consider to be good. And so today, no matter where I'm going, no matter what I'm doing, and no matter who I'm doing it with, it is my dominant intent to look for those things that feel good. We want to help you to realize that this process of allowing the well-being to flow to you is not the difficult process that some of you have made it out to be. It really is as simple as wanting enough to feel good, that I'm looking for something that makes me feel good. And I might have to be tenacious in that idea for a little while. I might look at that and it might not make me feel good because it reminds me of something that didn't make me feel good before. And I might look at that and it might not make me feel good because it might remind me of something that I've wanted and I don't have. And I might look at that and it might not make me feel good because it might remind me of a talk I once gave where I didn't do a very good job. And I might look outside and it might not make me feel good because it might remind me that the winters are getting closer and that the days are getting shorter. And so it might take some diligence at first. I might say, that doesn't make me feel good, and that doesn't make me feel good, and that doesn't make me feel good. But if I want to feel good, then I will stay on my search. And if I keep saying to the manager or to the universe, I want to find something that makes me feel good, I want to find something that makes me feel good, if I'm holding that intent, and I really, really mean it, the universe will yield to me sooner than later something that makes me feel good. And as I do, especially on the rampage of not feeling good that I've just come from, I will feel the relief and the release of feeling better. And then I will say, that makes me feel good. And as I focus upon that for as little as 17 seconds, now I'm off and running. Suddenly, the things that were in my vicinity that were not making me feel good, I do not have vibrational access to anymore. Now I'm on a rampage of things feeling good. There is nothing more productive for any of you than to get on a rampage of appreciation relative to any subject of your desire, because you cannot appreciate and hold yourself vibrationally apart from something at the same time. They are two opposite vibrations. When you are in the vibration of appreciation, you are in the vibration of allowing. And whatever it is you are appreciating, you are allowing with that much more emphasis in the now. In other words, it speeds the process. So if we were wanting to reach for joyful experience or the experience of connection, we would superimpose the word appreciation, because it is a pure vibration for most of you. When you say, I want that, or I have to have that, sometimes it can get messy. But when you say, I surely do appreciate that, there is very little contradictory vibration within you, and you're much more likely to then use that as your excuse to allow what you've been telling the universe all along with your yippies and yahoos that you are wanting. The Art of Letting It In says, well-being abounds, and I'm a worthy receiver of it. And when I think that thought, I don't let it in. But when I think that thought, I let it in a little more. And when I think that thought, I really let it in. I choose that thought. Do I choose that thought because it is reality? No, I choose that thought because it lets it in. Do I choose that thought because my parents agree with it? No, but I choose that thought because I let it in. Do I choose that thought because statistics say it's the truth? No, I choose that thought because it lets it in. Do I choose that thought because a lot of wise people choose that thought and therefore it must be a good thought? No, I choose that thought for only one reason. In choosing that thought, I feel better. This thought feels better than this thought. This thought feels better than this thought. So, I'm a good person. I have so much to learn. I am incomplete. I never get it done. I don't like the way you treat me. Law of attraction never lies. I'd feel better if you'd do something differently. I'll feel better anyway. I'm the creator of my own experience. I can't be happy if you do that. It is not a difficult thing for you to tell which thought feels better, is it? In other words, these were very similar vibrations, and yet you were able to discern a marked difference in the way they feel. You are students of deliberate creation. You are in an advanced arena, and you are doing enormously well. Have fun with all of this. Be easy about it. There are no tests. There are no trials. You cannot get it wrong, and you will never get it done. Just make a decision that in this moment, and this one, and this one, and this one, I'm going to look for an excuse to let it in. For the most part, I know that well-being exists upon this planet. If I could chart all of the people who have lived over the last 1,000 years and somehow make a little tick mark for every hour they lived in wellness, and then I could chart all of the people who have lived over the last 1,000 years, and I could make a little tick mark for any hour that they lived in sickness. As I compare the two, I would discover that well-being is so dominant that not well-being is hardly a ripple in those statistics. As I behold this planet spinning in its orbit in perfect proximity to other planets, isn't that remarkable? Aren't you just amazed at the stability of this mass? When I think about the tomato that I eat for lunch today, and I realize that its ancestors have been present on the planet for eons, and somehow, even though my garden sort of comes and goes, the earth's garden remains constant. In other words, there is never a time when all of the seeds are gone. The seas remain full. The air recycles and remains pure. In other words, the abundance of well-being is remarkable. Isn't it interesting? My own body started out as a little blob that if you looked on a microscope you could not even see. And somehow that cell, those cells, had knowledge within them that attracted life force that creates a human being of perfection. Don't you find that amazing? Even as I lie in my bed at night, isn't it remarkable that I don't consciously keep my blood flowing? That somehow the cells of my body know what they're doing, and the life force of well-being flows to them. The well-being is so enormous. Why do I ever seek out some little pocket of someone who, for whatever reason that I cannot begin to understand, has held themselves in a vibration that doesn't allow the well-being? Why would I ever look at that and amplify that and feel that now I must take the same position of pushing against? Well-being abounds. Now, as you listen to us here, your cork floats, doesn't it? In other words, you can feel you are vibrationally up to speed with who you really are. And having spent even that little bit of time, a minute or two or three, feeling the vibration that is in harmony with source energy, now next time you have a thought that's not a vibrational match with the energy of well-being, you're going to feel it. In other words, it will stick out like a sore thumb. And when it does, think about the Marshmallow Man. In other words, when it does, rather than going with it. Someone said to us the other day, Abraham, why is it that the negative thought seems so much bigger? She said, I know what I want, and yet I keep thinking about what I do not want. How is this? Why is the negative so much more dominant? We say, it isn't. It's much less dominant. But what happens is, as you achieve vibrational harmony with it, then as that is the vibration that you are accustomed to offering, then that's the vibration that is shown to you everywhere you go. You get the sense of it? Do you know that one who is connected to core energy is more powerful than 1,000,000 who are not? And so as you set the tone, everywhere you go, you become unaffected by those who are vibrationally different from you. When you are in sync with core energy, a traffic accident cannot happen to you. You could not go to a place where an earthquake was about to happen, or a bomb was about to explode, or an airplane was about to go down. You could not find yourself there because vibrationally you are different from that. In other words, the two cannot come together. Not because you're guarded, and not because you've protected yourself well, and not because the government has put up the barricades, and not because those things that beep when you go through the airport are keeping you safe. None of that. But because you have set a vibrational tone, that means you only can gravitate to, and things only can gravitate to you that are a vibrational match to the well-being that is the signal that you are offering.
We're delighted to see you all the way through the video. If you enjoyed this video, please share it with your friends and let us know in the comments section below. There is a lot of love for you here.